Greetings and welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be talking about a Greatsword lifesteal build. So I'm having plans on making this Greatsword lifesteal build as soon as Brimstone comes out. It's a lot of work I need to put into this because I need to get a lot of different things to make this all work. But I think overall this could be like one of the funnest ways to play the Greatsword. So Greatsword has a lot of tankiness and a lot of self-healing already built in. And then if you just slap on more lifesteal, I think you could become pretty OP in PvE and PvP, just getting tons of self-healing, just eliminating the need for a healer because you can just keep yourself alive. So let's just talk about it. So my idea is I'm going to be running a Greatsword and Hammer because the Greatsword has healing in there, the Hammer has healing in there. They both work really well together. So that's a nice thing. On the sword, when it comes to perks, there's a couple perks that you want to have on there. Leeching crosscut, as you see here, that's a really good one if you're planning on using crosscut. If not, then you don't have to care about this at all. But of course, life stealing on the weapon would be something that you want. And there is also a transient recovery, which gives you healing when you heavy attack. That's something you want to have on the Greatsword as well, because you're going to be heavy attacking a lot on the Greatsword. This Greatsword gets really good bonuses for heavy attacking. There's auto blocking when you're in defiant stance. There's bleeds that you can attach. You can heavy attack to change into onslaught stance, for example. There's like a couple different things that you can do there. So you're going to be heavy attacking a lot. So having the transient recovery on that is going to be super nice. So like I said, lifesteal, transient recovery, and if you're planning on using crosscut, that should be on the weapon as well. When it comes to the hammer, hammer is a great healing weapon. Actually, I use that on the live server a lot because it has tons of CC potential that hits tons of people around you, and you're going to be life stealing and getting health for everyone hit. So what you want to have on the hammer is life stealing, of course, also transient recovery. That's going to be super nice. And maybe you want to have leeching path of destiny on the hammer, because that's going to also increase your healing if you hit a path of destiny. So these two, I think, are just the best choices for a lifesteal, because the Greatsword has tons of healing. Like critical comeback, for example, gets you 5% base health per second when you land a crit hit, right? Steadfast, when you hit with the first hit, you heal for 50% weapon damage. Relentless Rush, when you're in defiant stance, Relentless Rush heals for 15% of its damage. Stuff like that. Then, of course, you have the Undying Defiance, heal for 5% of the damage done. And then when you block an attack for 3 seconds after that, you're going to be healing for 15% of the damage done. So tons of healing in there. Of course, I told you about the leeching crosscut. Crosscut hits really hard. So having that leeching on there, you can hit multiple people with that and just gain even more healing, of course. So yeah, Greatsword is an amazing weapon for just being tanky and getting a lot of lifesteal. But of course, the Warhammer has this amazing passive here, Prevailing Spirit. Heals for 35% of the damage dealt when you're using Crowd Crusher abilities. We're using a full Crowd Crusher kit here. So all these skills, when we hit people, they're all going to do tons of damage. They're going to hit tons of people, and you're going to be leeching health from these hits, right? And then, of course, when you have, you get the 35% here, you have the 5% on the life stealing. You might have like a leeching path of destiny on your hammer. That's like another almost 50% lifesteal that you get on that skill. So tons of life stealing going on. Of course, the hammer also coming in with a lot of tanky buffs and rend and stuff like that. It's an amazing weapon in combination with the Greatsword. I think this is like the perfect combo for just being tanky, controlling the fight, and healing. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that you want is you want leeching on the ring, of course, for 5% more lifesteal. You want divine on your necklace for another 10% heals. That applies to your lifesteals, of course. And then you want, and here comes the kicker, you want the new rune glass gems, because the rune glass gems are gonna give you more option for a lot of different things, but also for life stealing. So these are the new rune glass gems that you can craft with brimstone sands. What that is basically it's a normal gem that you know with a normal effect, but you can add another new effect on top of that. So, you know, if we're just looking, if we're looking at like diamond, a lot of people put diamonds on their gear for you know, damage absorption. And the diamond, like the normal diamond, if you put it on your armor, would give you 1.5% physical and 0.5% elemental damage absorption, right? So that's basically what you know. And if you put it on the weapon, 12% damage and outgoing healing while at full health. That's what you know from the life server. But then you have the added effect. If you put this on a weapon, you're going to deal 8% void damage per second for 2 seconds. Or you put it on your armor and you get 2% from that, right? So you can, for example, you know, if you have a void gauntlet build, you just want to you know, up the amount of void damage that you're doing to people. That could be an option for you. But of course, there is the leeching variants of these, and that's the ones that I'm really excited about. So on my gear right now, I have these diamonds here, and we just went over it what they do. But the secondary effect, if you have the leeching variant of those, it's going to give you 3% lifesteal on the weapon and 1% lifesteal on the armor. So what you can do is you put it on the weapon, that's another 3% on top of what you already have. You put it on the armor, that's another 5% here, 1% per piece, right? They have a 2-second cooldown, of course. I would kind of wish they didn't, but you know, it's okay. 2 seconds, not too bad. But yeah, that's another 3%. It's another 5%. It's 8%. Technically, you should be able to put them on jewelry if you have jewelry that has a slot that where you can put it in. And I'm pretty sure you can probably also craft jewelry with the appropriate rune glass gem inside of it, which could give you another 3% here. So overall, we'd be looking at an additional 11% lifesteal if you can put all of those on. So that's another 11% on your 5% that you have on the weapon already, on the 5% that you have on the ring already, on the 10% that you get from your divine and stuff like that. So you see, it's like it's snowballing. There's like tons of life stealing that's happening here. So you can put all that stuff on. It's all going to stack. It's going to give you tons of life steal on top of all that life steal that you already have built into the weapons. So how can we elevate this further? Of course, we're going to use a heart rune. This one specifically, the Cunning Heart Rune of Grasping Vines. That's my favorite. Vines itself, super strong heart rune. It's going to root everybody around you for 3 seconds. You also deal damage, which is, you know, it's not like crazy high damage, but, you know, it helps. But the important part is it roots people, so it's a really nice effect to have in PvP. Also in PvE, if you want to, you know, restrict movement, that's pretty nice. But the leeching vines passive that we're going for here, it's going to heal you for 20% of your damage done to rooted targets. So for 3 seconds, you're going to get 20% of all the damage you do to all the enemies that are rooted by this ability, which is amazing because you can just root people and then you just go for a shockwave on the hammer, which is going to hit everybody that's rooted. You're going to sap tons of health from that. Amazing. It's amazing. So we're just stacking lifesteal on top of lifesteal on top of lifesteal here. That's the plan. That's what we're going to do here. I'm going to be working on that as soon as Brimstone comes out. I'm going to try to get the hard rune. I'm going to try to upgrade it to the right variant. I'm going to try to get these rune glass gems. I'm going to try to get the right sword and the right hammer and just get that build done. If it's done, I'm going to definitely let you know. Before I go here, let me tell you something about attributes. That has nothing to do with the lifesteal, but I mean technically it does, because it's about maximizing your damage on the greatsword. So it kind of plays into that a little bit. I just want to take the time to just let you know the way you build the greatsword is very open. You can go all strength, all dexterity, any mix of the two. But there's a couple things you want to keep in mind. You definitely want to have this one here, gives you the damage to melee physical basic attacks. Definitely want to have that. You definitely want to have the 100 strength point here, which gives you 5% damage to melee slashing and strike damage attacks, which is going to be R2 weapons here. So they're both going to be buffed. So at least 100 strength you should have. When it comes to dexterity, I like to have at least 150 because I like the cheaper dodge rolls. I'm going to be playing my build in medium armor, so I already get like a dodge cost reduction. Put this one on top, have a really cheap dodge roll, and the greatsword has a ton of stamina sustain built into it, so you can dodge a ton. You can dodge and dodge and dodge, and even if your stamina is empty, the greatsword has, it's just, it's amazing. I gotta talk about it real quick. I'm sorry. So there's this passive here. It's called Step and Strike. After dodging, you gain a 10% in power, but attacks empowered by this effect restore 10 stamina on hit. So you dodge and you attack, you get 10 stamina. You dodge and you attack, you get 10 stamina. So effectively, your dodge rolls on medium armor only cost you 20 stamina. You know, because they cost 30 stamina. And then you get the 10 stamina on hit. So effectively, you're just paying like 20 if you want to look at it like that. You also get 5 stamina back per second if you crit on somebody, which is amazing. This one is super amazing because this one's going to give you 20 stamina on each hit. So the Steadfast Strike has 2 hits. Goes in, goes out, 2 hits. 20 stamina on each hit. Guess what that does? So now you're hitting with this thing. You get 20 stamina on the first hit, 20 stamina on the second hit. That's 40 stamina. You're also getting 10 stamina on the first hit here, 10 stamina on the second hit. We're already sitting at 60 stamina. Then you might crit with one of these attacks, which means this passive is going to fire up and it's going to give you 5 stamina every second for 5 seconds. So that's another 25 stamina that you're going to get back over 5 seconds. You see, this is insane. You have so much stamina sustain. You can come back from an empty stamina bar. If your stamina bar is empty and you just hit someone with this thing, you're going to be good. You got your stamina back. You can keep going. Amazing. Of course, what you want to do is you want to have hardy for max stamina. You want to have nimble for stamina regen, and you want to have stam recovery so that you know, when you're hit below 50%, you just basically gain all your stamina back. So don't get me started on the stamina sustain. It's amazing. I love this weapon so much. It's going to be so broken in medium armor, but yeah, whatever. That's not what we're talking about. That's why I say I feel like having the 150 dex is super important if you want to be like super dodgy. You can of course manage your stamina well without that, because you have tons of stamina recovery. That just, like, you know, this makes it so much easier. But what dexterity does on top of that is 10% chance to critically hit. Super nice to have. This one here, thrust damage is not going to come in too much. I'm not sure if there's like some thrust attack. I feel like some of the skills might count as thrust attacks, so it's not bad to have, but it's definitely important to have that 150. And if you want to maximize the damage on the greatsword, go to 200. You get the 10% bonus backstep and headshot damage. And in case you're wondering, why does this man have 50 intelligence on his melee build? Well, because another 10% damage to backstabs and random critical hits. So if you go 200 dexterity, you get 10% here, 50 intelligence, you get 10% here. That's going to be better than just putting the 50 into strength or dexterity. So I think that's the way to go. You should definitely if you're looking for a lot of damage, the maximum amount of damage that you can do, you should definitely invest into 50 intelligence. That's a really good one to have now. And yeah, that's basically it. Just wanted to let you know about this little thing. Don't sleep on the 50 intelligence if you're looking for big boy damage. And that's about it, guys. That's my plan for the life-stealing greatsword. I'm very excited. I can't wait to play this on live and see how it feels in PvE and PvP. I think it's going to be borderline broken. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. Do me a favor, check me out on Twitch. I'm streaming every day. Leave a comment, subscribe, and come back for the next video. Okay? I'll see you then. Take it easy. Bye-bye.